Afternoon, and welcome to Jeff and the Rabbi. Good to be back.
It's good to be back, yeah.
Great topic today. One of my favorite topics. The whole topic is good and evil.
Yeah.
The whole thing. I don't know. I was not around yet, but I know you were probably in your later rabbi years back in the 60s and things like that. But I remember there was a show. I was laughing, and they had a Laughing. I think it was called Laughing. It might have been another show where their big punchline of one of their jokes was they would do all these things and they would come out, "The devil made me do it."
Yeah.
And they had shirts that said, "The devil made me do it." It was like a big thing. And
Right.
I think maybe in Christianity that's like a real big thing. You did something wrong. It was the devil. The devil is always out there trying to trip you up.
Right.
And he does bad things. And I know Jews are a little bit different. We talk about the evil inclination. Maybe you call it the Yetzer Hara. Maybe the animal soul versus the godly soul.
Right.
We call it something different. Now, in my opinion, I think the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, as they call it, I think it's the best thing that's ever happened to us. I think that's our pal. That guy that he's sitting on our shoulder everywhere we go. You got this Yetzer Hara. He's whispering, hey, like we're walking down, a lady drops a $20 bill out of her purse. I'm thinking I might go help her out, pick up things. But I hear, no. Put the money in your pocket. Nobody's looking. And it's a great thing in the world. It's also like I'm going down the thing, and there's like 2 slices of pizza left, and there's 1 slice of pizza left, and everybody left the room. I grab the pizza and eat it real quick. I think the evil inclination is the best thing that's ever happened to man. We can have anything we want. If nobody's looking and we're not going to get caught, we can steal it. We can commit adultery. We can cheat in business. We can do anything we want. But the reason why you think it's the best thing in the world is because we can say no. What an amazing gift. I mean, what a setup for us to do good. The difference between good and evil is just saying no to this guy right here. Just like Nancy Reagan said, just say no, and you're good.
Wow.
What an easy thing. So my theory is our best buddy in the world is the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination.
Well, in the Talmud they tell a story about the rabbis prayed to banish the Yetzer Hara from the world.
No.
And they did. And then somebody got sick and they needed to go get some eggs, and they went to the store. There were no eggs. And they realized, maybe we overreached. So they prayed to bring the Yetzer Hara back because no Yetzer Hara, no eggs in the market.
Why were there no eggs? I don't get it.
Because the roosters didn't have any Yetzer Hara.
Now I got it. So he made the
Right?
roosters not have the Yetzer Hara.
I mean, nobody had Yetzer Hara. Nobody had any
good
evil
point.
inclination. Well, in other words, there is some value. It does kind of make the world
He's
go
my
round.
best buddy. Yeah, he's the best guy.
It makes the world go round,
Right.
Yeah. But it also makes for an awful lot of trouble, which is why the rabbis wanted to banish it in the first place.
Yeah, but if the rabbis banish the Yetzer Hara, how will I ever get to make a choice to say no? I mean, it's right in front of me that guy's got a great car. He left the keys in the car.
Right. So the rabbis they sized it all up. They said they understood like you.
Yeah, right.
If you don't have the tension, you can't get any reward for making the right decision. What good is the right decision if you don't have any inclination to do the wrong decision?
Right.
So the rabbi said, yeah, but that's only if the people are winning. But they
that's
looked
true.
around and they saw that people are coming out as some losers. They're giving into the evil inclination all the time. They thought maybe it's better not to even have it because all told, when you're adding up the score, losing.
Yeah, there's a lot of losing. If we look in the history books or just yesterday in the office, it's probably a lot of losing.
So a lot more losing than winning. And to such a point that the rabbis just said, listen, let's just throw in the towel and say, God, forgive it. Just take it out of here, please. Just get it going. Right. But he didn't do that.
He didn't do it.
Because you need eggs. Meaning, there needs to be that spice of life that makes people want to be attracted to other people and procreate, and it's the tension that makes life active.
Right.
So now what do? So we can't get rid of it, but if you live with it, everyone seems to be losing to it. So what do? How do you deal with that inclination? But I first want to say that the Torah approach is not to ignore it, appreciate it, understand it, believe in the importance of its existence.
Right.
Do not believe that anyone can rise above it absolutely and totally. No one is free of it. anything like that. And as a matter of fact, really don't think that you can actually just ignore it. That's one thing. You're not going to be able to ignore it.
Right.
Don't think that you can take the golden rule, the median. Well, we'll indulge it just a little bit,
Right.
but not too much. That doesn't seem to work.
Yeah, right.
Right.
You got to be pretty strong for that one.
Yeah, right. And
Tough.
there's another one that's like, well, like I'm so used to it that it doesn't affect me anymore because I've indulged so much. For some reason, that one doesn't work either.
Right.
So what do? So here's the story. I'll tell you the story of Rav Amram the Pious.
Ah.
Now, Rav Amram the Pious, first of all, we can see from his name that he was pretty
I was
pious.
gonna say he probably did pretty well with it because he's a pious guy.
He's very pious, right? So Rav Amram the Pious, he was instrumental. Some Jewish girls got captured. They were taken off into captivity.
Okay.
One of those like Boko Haram type of things.
Happens back
So
then.
he was instrumental in securing their return. I don't know what happened, if he raised money or he negotiated. I don't know what the deal was. But he was involved in it. Now, he wasn't the one that got them back, but he was involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
So someone went off and they gained the freedom for these girls.
Okay.
They were bringing the girls back home, and they stopped off in Rav Amram Chassida's town, Naharda.
Amram the Pious.
Amram the Pious,
Okay.
yes. Amram the Pious. He lives in a town called Naharda,
Okay.
and along their way back, they stopped in that town. They said, well, let's have the girls stay here at his house. So he had a second floor, and he put the girls upstairs in the second floor. That's where they stayed.
Right.
Now, the way that you get to the second floor is you used to have to climb up a ladder. They didn't have staircases in those
Right.
days.
Right.
They had a ceiling. They had a hole in the ceiling. You had a ladder. You climbed up the ladder, and that's it. Up and down the ladder. That's the only way to get upstairs and downstairs. No staircases. They put the girls upstairs, and just to be safe, they took the ladder away.
Good idea.
The girls are upstairs, men are downstairs.
We
They
want
took
to
the ladder
keep
away.
Avram the Pious.
Right. They wanted now remember, this is Amram the Pious'
But we
house.
want to make sure we keep Avram.
Yeah, you want
pious.
to keep him pious, right.
Right.
So they took away the ladder.
Right.
Now, this wasn't just any old ladder. This was a big, huge oak pillar.
Wow. Okay.
It took 10 people
Wow.
to lift the thing and carry it away. But they did because the girls are upstairs. They want to make sure the girls stay upstairs again.
They could have put one of those little doggy gates on the thing. Would have probably been a little easier. But that's
right.
I'm just saying. In our house, that's
Right.
what we do. But go
Right.
ahead.
Or
Sorry.
or actually just like a nanny cam or something.
Right. Which would probably be
Right.
better.
Okay. A lot lighter too.
Yeah.
Anyway, they carried away this big, heavy oak ladder.
Mm-hmm.
They carried away. Okay. Amram is standing there, and all of a sudden, the Talmud says, a beam of light shone through the hole in the ceiling.
Ooh.
What actually happened? One of the girls walked by,
Right.
and her beautiful countenance shone down on Rav Amram, who happened to be looking
I
up,
don't
and
like
he
when
saw
the
the girl,
countenance shows down. That's
and
not good, no.
he was smitten,
Yep,
right?
Yep.
Amram the pious as he is, he was smitten.
His name is now Avram the Adequate. We're
Yeah.
going to wait to see the end of the story where he ends up, but okay.
So what did he do? He went and got the beam, the ladder
By himself.
by himself, picked it up.
A lot
brought
of
it
countenance
back.
shining through there for
Right,
you to be able to
that's
do
right.
that.
Like, he is energized,
Right,
okay?
right.
He picked it up all by himself. It takes 10 people to carry it.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
picked it up all by himself.
Yeah.
He put it there in place, and he starts climbing up to go
Wow.
upstairs
Wow.
because he has been smitten by the light that shone down from above.
Yep.
Okay. He's halfway up the ladder when all of a sudden he plants his feet and he screams out, "Fire in Amram Chassida's house." He says, "Fire in Amram Chassida's house."
Wow.
So the neighbors came running because they heard there's a fire. And
Right.
a fire in the middle of
Right.
the you got to put the fire out, the whole town burns down.
Right.
So the neighbors came running and his students came running. And they find Amram Chassida on the ladder halfway up
Right.
to the next floor. There's no fire. But
Right.
yet the rabbi is like on the ladder on the way
Not
up
a
to the
good
girls.
thing. Not a good thing.
Right. So they look around and they immediately size up what's going on. The students say to him, "You've embarrassed us. Like this is This is really disgraceful, right? I mean, like you were going to do what you were going to do, but on top of it, you had to call everyone to come see,
That's a good point.
to come and see what the disgrace.
Right.
So he answered, I would rather embarrass you in this world than embarrass you in the next world. Now, what do you mean by that? Embarrass him in the next world? See, someday you're going to die. You're going to go to heaven. You're going to be looking around and say to God, like, hey, where's our rabbi?
Right.
And God might say, well, he doesn't live here. He's somewhere else. Why? What happened? Oh, well, you don't know. I mean, you know what he was doing? I mean, with the ladder and the girls upstairs. And I remember that time when the girls stayed in his place. Forget it. He's not here. So he says, I'd rather have you embarrassed with me now than embarrassed with me later.
So he's Avram not so bad.
So he's
good.
So this is what we call pious. That's what we call pious.
I agree with you there.
Right? See, he is, let's look at him. He's a regular guy who has regular desires.
Right.
Right? Who is like consumed. I mean, he was like consumed by his desire. And he realized that he was powerless to his desires.
Right.
But he took like one last stand.
Asked for some help.
Now, how did he ask for help? What did he do?
Well, he called the whole town in and humiliate me.
He basically subjected himself to humiliation rather than submit. This is really that was his last effort.
Wow.
That was really the Hail Mary.
Funny, Martha camera guy saying I'd be up that ladder in 5 seconds. It's not going to stop me. Said, not as pious, I guess, but it's pretty interesting.
But after he came down from upstairs, he'd say, "Hey, there's a fire here."
Really, let's burn the place down and go.
Right, let's burn this whole place down.
Right.
Yeah, cover up the evidence.
Right, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's what most people would do. Most people would not be willing to subject themselves to public humiliation to avoid doing the sin. He realized he was out of control, and the only thing that was going to stop him was public humiliation.
Well, so then it's kind of switching around a little. The moral of the story is that maybe that was an amazing test for Avram. Avram passed the test with flying colors, and he really is pious.
That's right.
But without that evil inclination, how would we have tested Avram?
Well, okay, so therefore we see evil inclination is there. It's a fact. There's no avoiding it. God put it there. He obviously wants it to be there. What do you see? You can beat it if you want, but what does it take? You really have to put yourself totally on the line. I think the issue is that most people feel that they are helpless. I can't beat it. As a matter of fact, I would die if I can't stand up to it. I'll give it, it's got me, I'm weak, it's powerful, and all that. So what he said is, no, you know what? I am really more powerful. So now, they ask a great question. So here's the end of the story. There's one more part in the story. After this episode, he said to his evil inclination, I swear that you have to leave me. Now, most people cannot really banish their evil inclination.
Right.
But the Talmud seems to be saying that after this episode, he was so amazing. This episode was so amazing that he showed that he will do anything not to give in to his evil inclination. Even after it's got him and it's flinging him all over the place, that like God actually gave him the power to banish his evil inclination. And he said, I make you swear to me, evil inclination, that you will leave. And the Talmud says they saw like a pillar of fire went shooting out of him.
Wow.
Like literally like fire came out of him. And they said that was the leaving of his Yetzer Hara. So then they understood when he was screaming, there's a fire in Amram Chasida's house.
Man, he was telling the truth.
He's telling the truth.
He's telling the truth.
I'm on fire.
Wow.
I am on fire. I am consumed. I am burning up. Right? He was just telling the truth. Says, that's it. This is fire, and it's in me, and it's driving me. Now, by the same token, fires are good.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like
There's no doubt.
turn the car on. Maybe you've got an electric. I don't know, but for those of us that are still driving internal combustion engines,
You in California, sorry, you don't understand.
right?
What
You
we're
don't know
talking
what we're
about.
talking about.
The rest of us, yes.
Right. The fire makes the engine go. Right. I mean, it's that fire that makes things happen. So he did have that fire in him. And it's true, the fire is what makes people hot, and that's good, but you also, it can burn you up.
Well, but the real question is then, because I think we've had these conversations before, should Avram not have had these girls come stay at his place in the first place?
Perhaps, yes. It seems as though he thought that everything was okay. But when he caught that sight, when the light shone on him.
Right.
In other words, he probably wasn't thinking that he was going to see a vision, whatever it was that he saw, by looking up through through this hole and seeing it. But when he saw what he saw, it just got him. It got him.
Well,
he probably said, I'm under control. But he didn't bank on the fact that he would see that vision.
Because you have said and implied there's lots of things. Well, there's places you shouldn't go. There's things that you shouldn't do. But I sometimes wonder if that's maybe true for some people. But if we never went to those places and saw those things, how would then we become pious people? How could I ever be pious if my Yeshaher and I'd say, hey, right there, you got to give me a chance to be pious.
Yeah. So sometimes a person can be pious if you're him. And you were able to throw that last-ditch effort and plant yourself on the ladder and scream fire. Not too many people are doing that.
No.
But a lot of people could say, I don't want these girls sleeping in my house because it's not going to be healthy for me. Or the girls can sleep in my house, but I'm sleeping on my friend's couch.
Or a taller ladder, or cut the ladder, burn the ladder.
Right, that's right. Burn the ladder, burn me. I don't know, do something, But that is what I think most of us would not be expected to do an Amram Hasidah move of screaming fire. But I think we would be expected to say, sorry, just can't have these girls in my house. Or, sorry, you can have the house. Here's the keys. I'll come back tomorrow.
But God put the Yeshahara there. This to me, I think for a lot of people, that struggle is what we're supposed to do. Are we supposed to avoid the struggle or struggle and win?
So I just read an interesting responso written by Rabbi Moshe Feinstein. He passed away in 1987. And basically, men and women who are not married to each other are not supposed to have any contact with each other, right? This keeps everyone's lusts and all that in check. So the question was asked, what about on the subway? Everyone pack into the subway car. There's men, there's women. How do you get home from work if you can't squeeze into the subway car? So he said, in a subway car, as long as it's that type of contact that is not lustful, and everyone's just trying to get home and all that stuff, then it's okay. But he does say, if you find that you're on the subway car and you're experiencing lustful thoughts or feelings by being squeezed in with other people and touching other people, then you have to figure out another way to get home.
I guess that's true.
That's it. You got to figure out another way to get home because for you, it's not working. He said for most people, it could be okay. They could get in, they're squeezed in, whatever. It's just casual. It doesn't elicit any feelings. But if it does.
But if and this is where I always have the problem with it. But if your job, and our job as a Jew on earth, is to educate and teach Torah and spread Torah and live Torah throughout the world, are there places that it's just not worth teaching Torah? I can't go in there, that place, because, I understand when we're in synagogue or a shul, but I can't go in there because I'm not able to teach. These people are going to have to do without Torah. We're going to have to do without Torah. Is that the way? Or does God say, you know what? Okay, if you can't do it, you can't do it, but maybe you should try. And if you think you can't do it, then you say, don't take the subway home.
Yeah, if you can't do it, you can't try, because what are the chances of it? Let's say you get a guy. He has an option to work on a college campus.
Right.
Young fellow, let's say young rabbi, mid to late 20s, working on a college campus. So he thinks that he's not sure if he can handle it or not. He'll give it a try. And then he ends up in making some mistake or some indiscretion and gets involved with one of the...
That could be a problem.
Right. Now, was it worth it? I mean,
No.
the whole program goes down the tubes.
That's
There's a big scandal. There's a whole thing, Rabbi found, whatever it is, with campus co-ed and blah, 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 and all that stuff, So, listen, if you don't think you can handle it, then that's how you fight your Yetzer Hara. You got to be realistic. Maybe you say, listen, college camp is not for me.
That makes sense.
I'll do my ministry in the
old
nursing home. Yeah.
Okay, but let's not take to the extreme. Okay, so let's say we have an ample woman.
Yeah.
And the ample woman's in charge of the bake sale.
Yeah.
Now, that's probably not a good thing, but should she not try this? And listen, you got to make money selling those donuts. Let's be honest. There's a good chance she might eat more of the profits. There's a chance, and I'm just being nice. When I say ample, I mean soft, whatever.
Okay.
So should she say, listen, I cannot be in charge of the bake sale? Is that,
everything else we've done in all these years we're going to get away with, but this
one I might be in trouble.
2 years.
That could be the end.
Now we're all done. This is it.
I could be in trouble.
We're done for now.
But it's a good question. Should she say? Because I'm not taking. There's not going to be a scandal in town that she eats all the donuts.
Right.
But should she stay away from the bake sale?
The Talmud says a wise man has eyes in his head, meaning size up the situation.
Okay,
if you
no
realize
pun intended on the ample woman. We're not talking about that.
That's right. If you think this is not going to work, if you suspect this might not work, if you suspect this is not healthy for you, don't do it. The in the 12-step program, and I've had people at my house, and we make the kiddush on Friday night, and I pour out a little bit of wine for everyone, a little teeny cup, and then sometimes the guy, no thanks, I'm not having any. Yeah, it's a little teeny cup. He's sitting at the table. I mean,
what's going to happen?
Going to turn into an alcohol, right? No. He knows. He knows himself.
That's a good point. Very good point.
He knows himself, and that's it. You don't not even that little cup. Okay. Everyone's got to know, man, maybe someone else can drink a big cup, but maybe someone's got to know, not me. I can't even drink a little cup, otherwise it's going to be a problem.
I like that. So he's dealing with his Yetzer Hara. He's not excluding it. He knows I can't deal with you there. I can deal with you over here, but I can't deal with you in the bar. I can't deal with you. All right, that's understandable.
So, Amram Hasidah, what it seems as though, like, if he didn't have to be at the bottom of the thing as the woman walked past right at that moment and the light to shine down, it seems as though God was really pushing him. God was really testing him out, putting him right up against the wall.
I just don't want to make sure that people don't miss their test, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, he had his test, and he passed his test. But, you would have to probably be Amram Hasidah to have that kind of test.
That's some strength.
Because that was like, it drove him crazy. But yet he managed even then to pull out. So you see that everyone can pass their test.
But just for the sake of saying, like the spies that were in the desert.
Yeah.
It would have been great to stay in the desert. No temptation to stop studying. No, they could have. Why should we go into the land?
Holy.
We can stay out here. Look at it. There's so many things in there that can take us away from studying. But obviously they got punished for not doing it. So there is some sense of the word that we've got to, be careful, but we've got to live in this world.
That's right. Absolutely. So we're not ignoring, we're not like saying, celibacy, become a priest. We don't believe in any of that stuff.
That hasn't worked too well.
Right. No. But we're not there at all. So you have to be in the situation, in the society, in the world, and yet everyone has to know for themselves what they can do and what they can't do, because it's not a pass to just indulge. Just, well, listen, I got to get to work, and I got secretaries. You can't expect me very well to go to work and have a secretary and not have a fling or two with the secretary. Yes, we can. And maybe you need to hire like a old secretary or some other type of secretary. Who knows,
So our whole idea about, so you got the job working in the basement of the Playboy Mansion as an accountant.
Yeah,
probably not a good idea. So I should tell our accountant here.
Probably not.
Not a good idea.
You want to telecommute. In that case, you want to telecommute.
Right. Probably a good idea.
Okay, and maybe you even want to turn the screen off.
Right. And maybe the sound too, just in case. All right, I got it. Right. Okay, so the bottom line is, we live in this world. We need to live this. We're not supposed to hide out in the attic.
Right.
But be smart.
That's right.
Your Yetzer Hara, and you could be good friends. just let him know when you can't go along with him. When he says you jump off the cliff, you don't jump off the cliff.
Right. I think we always have to remember that the Yetzer Hara, if you want to look at it benevolently, so he wants to lose.
Yes.
Right? God sent him out, but his goal is to lose. But, you know, he's not going to just like roll over.
Right.
He's going to try to play a tough game.
Right.
He's not going to just throw the game.
It's not like the Washington, what were they, Washington Generals that played the Globetrotters?
Oh, yeah.
Don't you remember you never saw the Globetrotters?
I did see the Globetrotters years ago,
and the team that had to throw every game
Right.
and lose to them. They never won once.
No, really?
Insane.
Okay.
So, but the Yetzer Hara keeps trying to win.
Right. That's right.
All right.
He's going to put up a good fight, and you got to put up a better fight.
So he's there. Fight him.
Right. Or avoid
Avoid
him. And because he didn't really fight him, because what he did was he screamed, "There's a fire in the house." Everyone else came in. Now, of course, once everyone's standing there,
And he's all right.
It's okay.
All right.
Right?
All right. This is your fight. You guys
Yeah.
better win it. All right.